Today is October 3rd of 2025, which means that Sean P. Diddy Combs is going to be sentenced. Now in this video, I'm going to give you a quick recap of where this all started and when he was arrested, when his trial started, when it ended, what he was convicted of, and how much time he's actually facing today. We're also going to be reading through a letter that Cassie Ventura, his ex-girlfriend, wrote to the judge. And we're also going to be reading a letter that Sean P. Diddy Combs decided to write to the judge, which 50 Cent actually trolled him about, as he does on social media, which I'm sure you can go find on social media yourself. Now, I do want to let you know that by the time this video is out, within hours, we should know what the sentence was. And so I'm going to update you on what it actually turned out to be in the comments section. So check out the very top comment, I'll pin it for you, which will not only tell you how much time he will have to serve, he gets credit for the 1 year that he's already spent, of course, in jail. But also, I'm going to pin a document there for you, which you might want to check out. I'll show you in a moment. Let's just first do a little recap. If you are brand new here, my name is Grizzly K. I'm South African. I live in Switzerland, and welcome. Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. So, November 16th of 2023, Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, filed a civil lawsuit alleging a decade of abuse, sexual assault, and trafficking from 2007 to 2018. That's a long time, shame. She claimed that he controlled her life, forced her into sexual acts, and assaulted her, including the 2016 hotel incident. On November 17th of 2023, Combs settled, that's the next day, right, with Ventura for an undisclosed amount within 24 hours. His lawyer denies guilt, calling the allegations offensive, but the settlement raises public suspicion. Late 2023, Ventura's lawsuit sparks multiple other civil suits against Combs, with over 120 individuals, including alleged minors, accusing him of assault and abuse dating back to 1991. Those, by the way, are still pending. So even though he's been convicted on 2 counts and will be sentenced for that today, those civil suits are still pending, and I think he's going to lose a lot of money paying out, the damages for those. In May of 2024, the 2016 hotel surveillance video leaks showing Combs hitting, kicking, and dragging Ventura, corroborating her lawsuit claims. Combs issues an apology video expressing disgust at his actions, but his lawyers call it a complex consensual relationship. Do you remember that video? And do you remember his apology video as well? If not, I'm sure you can find it online. Please know it's very distressing because it does involve, of course, domestic violence, and you can see him attacking Cassie Ventura. Also, if you want to see my previous coverage of this case, you can just expand the description box. There's a case background right up there for you, as well as a link to the playlist, because we've been covering this a little bit. Of course, I didn't cover the trial because, we couldn't see what was going on in the courtroom, and there were people that were in the courtroom reporting on it. So I just watched what they were sharing, right? Now, on September 16th of 2024, Combs was arrested in Manhattan following a grand jury indictment. He's charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, and transportation to engage in prostitution. This takes us to my little scribbled notes over here, which tells us that after his arrest, right, the trial then started on May 12th of 2025. It was a 7-week trial, and a verdict was reached after 3 days on July 2nd of 2025. They said it was a split verdict, meaning he was acquitted on racketeering conspiracy charges and sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion, which were the most serious charges, and he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. So that's what he'll be sentenced for today on October 3rd of 2025. If you're watching from the future, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Now, he could face 8 to 15 years. Let me know in the comments below how much you guess it's going to be, and let's see if you were right. Let's see if I was right. I think he's going to get 10 years with credit for the 1 year that he's already spent in jail, right? So 9 years to serve. That's what I think he might get. Now, the defense wants 14 months. The state wants 135 months, or 11 years and 3 months. And the state also wants $500,000 of a fine per count. So $1 million fine. Then he's still got those pending civil lawsuits. So yeah, he's going to be not wealthy after all of that, right? Which is definitely what he deserves after everything he's accused of doing and convicted of now. Let me know your thoughts on this case. Did you follow it closely? Did you follow all the trial coverage? Do you think that the jury got it right? I would love to hear what you think about this case if you have been following it. Now, if you're wondering, how old is Sean P. Diddy Combs? He's 55 years old. So let's say he has to serve a decade of time, then he would be 65 years old when he can get out, which I think is still scary based on what we know about him so far. That was a very powerful man, displaying a lot of coercive control and abuse and all sorts of things. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. Now, this document is one that I'm also going to put in the pinned comment for you, okay? It is the sentencing submission for the judge. And the conclusion is, for the foregoing reasons, the government respectfully submits that a sentence of 135 months imprisonment is appropriate. So that was the conclusion of this document. But this document is very lengthy. You can see it says United States District Court, Southern District of New York, United States of America versus Sean Combs. You could say aka Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, PD, and Love. I think he doesn't even know what love is, but okay. The government's sentencing memorandum, that's what it is. It is 164 pages long. And while I would love to read this to you, I think we'll be here for a long time if I did. Okay, it's very informative though. You could see that they go over the whole case, the trial, the evidence. They've got photo exhibits in here and everything. So it's a very interesting read if you want to read it yourself. What I am going to read to you now is Cassie Ventura's letter to the judge. Multiple people have written letters to the judge before P. Diddy Combs or Sean Combs is sentenced. And he himself wrote a letter to the judge, and we will read that as well, right? So if I just go to this front page, it says Exhibit A, and now we go to here. It's only 4 pages long, and this is already page 2. So, regarding sentencing of Sean Combs, U.S. versus Combs, case number. Dear Judge Subramanian, I have been in a cycle of thought and then overthought writing this letter to you. If there's one thing I've learned from this experience, it is that victims and survivors will never be safe. Oh, that's so sad. Although I can hope for justice and accountability, I have come to not trust anything. I hope that your decision considers the truths at hand that the jury failed to see. For 4 days in May, while 9 months pregnant with my son, I testified in front of a packed courtroom about the most traumatic and horrifying chapter in my life. I testified that from age 19, Sean Combs used violence, threats, substances, and control over my career to trap me in over a decade of abuse. He groomed me into performing repeated sex acts with hired male sex workers during multi-day freak-offs, which occurred nearly weekly. I was forced into lingerie and heels, told exactly how to look, and plied with drugs and alcohol so that he could control me like a puppet. These events were degrading and disgusting, leaving me with infections, illnesses, and days of physical and emotional exhaustion. Before he demanded it all again. Sex acts became my full-time job, used as the only way to stay in his good graces. I testified that I learned to read Sean Combs' signals, knowing that when he spoke of freak-offs, he was demanding them, and that refusing meant punishment, losing my car, my phone, or worse. He controlled every part of my livelihood and threatened to destroy my reputation by leaking sex tapes, a threat he repeated often. His power over me eroded my independence and sense of self until I felt I had no choice but to submit. When he believed I had wronged him, I was not sufficiently responsive. He also threatened people around me and those close to me, including my family. I regularly worried that displeasing him meant putting my family and friends' safety at risk. I testified how beyond these threats, Sean Combs frequently used violence to get his way. Over the nearly 11 years we were together, Sean Combs would hit me, punch me, stomp on my face, pull my hair, throw my body to the ground and against the wall. The jury saw pictures of bruises on my back from Combs kicking me, and saw the deep gash over my eye that he caused when he slammed me into a bed frame. The entire courtroom watched actual footage of Combs kicking and beating me as I tried to run away from a freak-off in 2016. People watched this footage dozens of times, seeing my body thrown to the ground, my hands over my head, curled into a fetal position to shield me from the worst blows. This physical violence caused bruises that makeup artists paid for by Sean Combs would cover up, as well as permanent scars all over my body. During my time with Combs, I was in a constant state of hypervigilance, as I was always anticipating demands for sex acts or otherwise fearing retribution for any perceived slight. My descent into substance abuse was directly correlated with his increased control over my body, my money, my freedom, and my free will, which is why I will call that what it is, coercive control. Oh man, I used those drugs to push through the horrifying sex acts that he demanded and to numb myself to the physical pain and emotional turmoil I was constantly in. While the defense attorneys at trial suggested that my time with Combs was akin to a great modern love story, nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing about the story is great, modern, or loving. This was a horrific decade of my life, stained by abuse, violence, forced sex, and degradation. I spent the last 7 years of my life slowly rebuilding myself, physically getting clean from the drug abuse that Sean Combs forced and encouraged, and mentally understanding how to live with a seemingly insurmountable level of trauma. The horrors I endured drove me to have thoughts of self-deletion, censored for YouTube, ones I almost followed through on, if not for my family's intervention and urging that I seek professional care. I have been to rehab and have taken part in dozens of types of therapy modalities to confront, compartmentalize, and cope with the horrific memories of sexual and emotional abuse that I endured for nearly 10 years. While what he did to me is always present, I'm slowly learning how to live my life free of the fear and horrors I endured, and in doing so, I am fully devoted to my husband and my children. I still have nightmares and flashbacks on a regular, everyday basis and continue to require psychological care to cope with my past. My worries that Sean Combs or his associates will come after me and my family is my reality, and I think it's very valid. I have in fact moved my family out of the New York area, and I'm keeping as private and quiet as I possibly can because I'm so scared that if he walks free, his first actions will be, and again, I think it's valid, swift retribution towards me and others who spoke up about his abuse at trial. As much progress as I have made in recovering from his abuse, I remain very much afraid of what he's capable of and the malice he undoubtedly harbors towards me for having the bravery to tell the truth. His defense attorneys claim he's a changed man and wants to mentor abusers. Okay, Sean Combs, just slow down there, buddy. I know firsthand what real mentorship means, and this disgusts me. He's not being truthful. I know that who he was to me, the manipulator, the aggressor, the abuser, the trafficker, is who he is as a human. I would say creature, but okay. He has no interest in changing or becoming better. He will always be the same cruel, power-hungry, manipulative man that he is. When I came out with my allegations in my civil case, he flatly denied them again and again. It was only after the actual video footage corroborated the exact words in my civil complaint that he issued an insincere apology on the internet. I agree with that. It was very insincere. It was horrible to watch. Thanks to the footage and my testimony, this is also something he will forever be associated with. For over a decade, Sean Combs made me feel powerless and unimportant, but my experience was real, horrific, and deserves to be considered. While the jury did not seem to understand or believe that I engaged in freak-offs because of the force and coercion the defendant used against me, I know that's the truth, and his sentence should reflect the reality of the evidence and my lived experience as a victim. Reliving in detail the events and truths described throughout the trial and this letter causes me tremendous emotional pain. I'm trying with all that I am to move on. I hope that your sentencing decision reflects the strength it took for victims of Sean Combs to come forward. I hope that your decision considers the many lives that Sean Combs has upended with his abuse and control. I thank you for your time and attention. Casandra, Ventura, Fine. Okay, that was very well written. Now, brace yourself, because we're going to read Sean Combs' letter to the judge. Yeah, he decided this would be a great idea for him to write a letter to the judge. Okay, so it's also 4 pages long. Let's hear it. Look, he wrote it yesterday, October 2nd of 2025. Honorable Arun Subramanian, United States District Judge, Southern District of New York. Dear Judge Subramanian, I hope this letter finds you well and in good health and spirits. Thank you for the opportunity to express my thoughts to you. First and foremost, I want to apologize and say how sincerely sorry I am for all of the hurt and pain that I've caused others by my conduct. I'm already out of rolling. Okay. I take full responsibility and accountability for my past wrongs. This has been the hardest 2 years of my life, and I have no one to blame for my current reality and situation but myself. In my life, I've made many mistakes, but I'm no longer running from them. I'm so sorry for the hurt I caused, but I understand that the mere words, "I'm sorry," will never be good enough, as these words alone cannot erase the pain from the past. Yeah. Over the past 13 months, I've had to look in the mirror like never before. A plastic one in your cell. Okay, so my pain became my teacher. My sadness was my motivator. Okay, I have to admit my downfall was rooted in my selfishness. The scene and images of me assaulting Cassie play over and over in my head daily. I literally lost my mind. I was dead wrong for putting my hands on the woman that I loved. I'm sorry for that and always will be. But you denied it until the video came out. You also try to pay people off to not have the video come out. So, okay. My domestic violence will always be a heavy burden that I will have to forever carry. Okay. The remorse, the sorrow, the regret, the disappointment, the shame. I honestly feel sorry for something that I couldn't forgive someone else for if they put their hands on one of my daughters. This is why it's so hard for me to forgive myself. It's like a deep wound that leaves an ugly scar. You're an ugly scar. Entirely. Okay, no. Your Honor, I thought I was providing for Jane concerning her and her child, another victim. But after hearing her testimony, I realized that I hurt her. For this, I'm deeply sorry. I lost my way. I got lost in my journey. Lost in the drugs and the excess. My downfall was rooted in my selfishness. I've been humbled and broken to my core. Jail is designed to break you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Over the past year, there have been so many times that I wanted to give up. There have been some days I thought I would be better off dead. The old me died in jail, and a new version of me was reborn. Prison will change you or kill you. I choose to live. Every day, since my incarceration, as difficult as my circumstances currently are. Sorry, I don't know why I just said that in an American accent, because I will say it in my South African accent. Every day since my incarceration, as difficult as my circumstances currently are, I have made the best of my time by reading books, writing, working out, or in therapy, obtaining the tools and knowledge to deal with my past drug abuse and anger issues. I've been putting in the work and working diligently to become the best version of myself to ensure that I never make the same mistakes again. I realize that I am in a situation where no amount of money, power, or fame can save me. Oh, you realize that, do you? Damn, you thought so. That's how you used to solve problems, huh? Throw money at the problem. Okay, no amount of money, power, or fame can save me. Only God can save me. My grandmother used to teach me that God makes no mistakes and that everything he does is for your good. I believe that a bad situation can be used for good. Although the situation has been the hardest and darkest time in my life, and all your victims, good things have come out of my incarceration. Stay there then. Stay there. It sounds like you're doing great. Stay there. Okay. For starters, I am now sober for the first time in 25 years. I've been trying my best to deal with my drug abuse and anger issues and take accountability as well as positive steps towards healing. One of the most beautiful things I've experienced is being asked by my fellow inmates to teach and mentor them. Okay, the coercive controllers back at the top of the hierarchy. They wanted to learn what I did to become a successful businessman. I was inspired by their hunger and desire to learn information in order to not only set goals, but achieve any goal or dream that their hearts desire. Oh, you got your narcissistic supply in jail. Great. I started teaching a 6-week program called Free Game, title given by my fellow inmates, which I was able to have approved and sanctioned by the Bureau of Prisons, BOP. I don't just teach about my success. I also teach about my mistakes and failures. Yeah, we know, you think you're amazing. Okay, it has truly been a blessing to do something positive in a negative situation. It has been beautiful to see the newfound hope in my fellow inmates' eyes. The most shocking thing was to see the unity and the peace this class has produced. As you are probably aware, jails and prisons are segregated places. However, in our class, we have Black, Spanish, White, and Asian all together in one room, learning and working together. We even have an interpreter for the Spanish-speaking inmates. The biggest miracle that I've seen with this class is all of the gangs, such as the Bloods, Crips, MS-13s, Trinitarios, 18th Streets, in one room, working together. So what I'm hearing is you made a new gang in jail? That's what I'm hearing. And you're the leader of it. Oh, sorry, am I getting this wrong? I'm also proud to say that since this class started, there have been no fights in our unit. Not that you've ordered any. Okay, this class has also helped me in my time of need and despair. Being able to do something good for others has also given me much needed hope. God blessed me with this opportunity to help others, and I will continue to do so. I ask you for mercy today, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my children. God blessed me with 7 beautiful children, 3 sons and 4 daughters. Yeah, and one son's also facing sexual assault charges, but okay. Their names are Quincy. No, don't say all their names. Don't say their names. Anyway, sorry about that. 4 of my children lost their mother, Kim Porter, as she tragically passed away in 2018. I am their only parent. You're the only biological contributor. I have failed my children as a father. Well, that's accurate. Thanks for saying that. Okay, my father was murdered, well, when I was 3 years old, so I know firsthand what it is to not have a father. More than anything, I just want the opportunity to return home and be the father that they need and deserve. God also blessed me with the greatest mother in the world. Yeah, we saw her stand by your side through it all, right? But okay, my mother sacrificed her life and dreams to provide for me and my younger sister, Keisha. She worked 3 jobs to make sure we had a roof over our heads, clothes on our backs, and the best education. My mother is now 84 years old, and she recently had brain surgery. Despite her own health challenges, she attended my trial every day. I've always been her primary caregiver. It breaks my heart that I put myself in the situation, and for the first time, I'm unable to be there for my mother when she needs me most. As I write you this letter, I'm scared to death, scared to spend another second away from my mother and my children. I no longer care about the money or the fame. Sure, it's because you don't have it anymore. But you do care, in my opinion. Oh, but you do. There is nothing more important to me than my family. I understand that one factor the court has to consider is deterrence. Deterrence for me and for others to ensure that no one follows in my footsteps and makes the same mistakes. For over a year, I've been locked in one room with 25 other incarcerated people, sharing the same one room. I thought you just said it was all segregated, but okay. In this room that I share, there are no windows, there's no natural or clean air. Can you see the pattern of this coercive controller? It's first like, I am very sorry, I take responsibility, I am a changed man. Yeah, right, I just don't believe him. I just don't. I don't feel it, okay? Some people will, some people might not like my snark, and that's okay. I will remain snarky at him because I see him just for what he is, okay? And it's a very dangerous person, in my opinion. So, first that, and then we start with, slowly but surely, with the pity. And then trying to manipulate with my poor, poor mother and children. Yes, but also you're trying to manipulate. And now we get to the pity party of the following. In this room that I share, there are no windows, there's no natural or clean air, there's no sunlight, and we all live in one room. We eat, sleep, use the toilet, take shower, TMI, bro. Okay, sorry. And prepare meals all in the same room. The conditions that my actions have placed me in are inhumane. See, there's the pity party. Oh, shame. Everybody have some sympathy for him. I don't tell you this for pity or sympathy. Yes, you do. Saying it doesn't make it that you don't say it. That's what manipulators say. I'm not telling you this for pity or sympathy, but please pity me. Judge, please pity me. Get me out of here. I'm simply sharing my truth and the truth of my fellow incarcerated people. Yeah, you sound like you found your tribe. Stay there. Okay, we have no clean drinking water. Oh, you mean like filtered mineral water? Okay, and we boil our drinking water. Shame, guys. Okay, we all share one washing machine, which is broken. I was doing that a year ago. Sorry. If you guys are on Patreon and you've seen my behind the scenes videos, you know We had this temporary apartment where we had this communal washing machine. Oh, did I complain about that? But anyway, I'm nothing like this dude. I'm just relating to the washing machine, meaning, oh, shame, you have one washing machine. Many people actually are in that situation worldwide, okay? Some don't even have a washing machine, P. Diddy. Did you think of that? Shh. I'm surrounded by drugs and live every day with a constant threat of being stabbed or losing my life. Yeah, that's welcome to jail. Again, I'm not expecting pity or sympathy, but my time at MDC has changed me forever. Okay, so you're not expecting it, but you would like it, right? You would like it. You want us to all say, shame. How did you get through it? That's so amazing. You are so resilient. Tell us more about you. Okay, prior to being in jail, I took care of and was present for my family. Were you though? Because all we heard was freak offs, and you just said you were addicted to drugs for 25 years. You were partying your ass off. You were apparently, allegedly, sexually abusing lots of people, including potentially minors. There's lots of allegations still flying. So you took care of and was present. How present were you? Anyway, being in jail and because of my conduct, I lost the ability to care for my mother. Oh, he's circling back to that, I see. I lost the ability to effectively raise and support my children. I've missed my 3 daughters' proms and graduations. I've missed taking one of my daughters to college. I lost the freedom to teach my 2-year-old how to speak, dance, play, or be there to console her when she falls down or has a nightmare. You're the nightmare. Okay, I started from nothing and worked hard to earn everything I had. But because of my conduct, I've lost all of my businesses. Yes, your criminal conduct. I have lost my career. I lost the charter schools that I started, and I've destroyed my reputation and stained the reputation of those that worked for me. I lost being present with my family. Between all of my losses and lessons, I can state for a fact that I will never be in another criminal courtroom again, and I do not believe any other person would do anything similar from fear of similar punishment. If you give me a chance, I would like the opportunity to share my story with people to prevent at least one person from making the mistakes that I've made. Yeah, it's pretty common sense, dude. We don't need to hear that. Thanks. I can't change the past, but I can change the future. I know that God put me here to transform me. Since incarceration, I've gone through a spiritual reset. Like every other inmate, I'm on a journey that will take time and hard work. I'm proud to say I'm working harder than I ever have before. I'm committed to the journey of remaining a drug-free, non-violent, and peaceful person. I thank God that I'm stronger, wiser, clean, clear, and sober. God makes no mistakes. I realize that this trial has received a tremendous amount of global press, and Your Honor may be inclined to make an example out of me. Yes, please do that, Judge. I would ask Your Honor to make me an example of what a person can do if afforded a second chance. Nice try, manipulator. If you allow me to go home to my family, I promise I will not let you down, and I will make you proud. Judge, I'll even invite you to my next freak off, okay? Today, I humbly ask you for another chance to be a better father, another chance to be a better son, another chance to be a better leader in my community, and another chance to live a better life. I'm writing this not to gain any sympathy or pity. That's the 3rd time you've said that, and now I will definitely say that you absolutely are writing this for sympathy and pity, and to tell us all how amazing you are. This, hello narcissist, coercive controller, abuser, okay, I see you for exactly what you are. This experience is simply the truth of my existence. No, it isn't. It's a huge manipulative letter. Okay. And has changed my life forever. You've changed many people's lives forever. Yeah, with all that trauma. And I will never commit a crime again. You should have never committed a crime in the first place, but okay. Thank you for your time and consideration, Sean Combs. Well, that's that. So, I hope you enjoyed that read-through. My goodness, I hope the judge gives him the absolute maximum that they can with these charges. 135 months, please. LWOP would be great, but unfortunately that's not on the table. 135 months, Judge, is what I would ask for on this Friday, October 3rd of 2025. Thank you very much. Now, to all of you watching, if you made it to the end, please do remember to look at the pinned comments, because I'm going to update you there. Maybe I'll even make a YouTube short for you, hey? Maybe I'll even make a community post, so check those out as well. What his sentence was in the end. I'm really hoping for the max here, because this is a dangerous individual. I don't care what he says. I don't care how much he tries to apologize. It's a classic Darvo strategy. Deny, attack, reverse victim offender, or in this case, just like, oh no, pity party time. I'm amazing. I'm a changed man. I've turned over a new leaf. I will never again commit a crime. I'm a mentor. I'm a leader. I'm bringing all these people together. I'm teaching people. Sure. Okay, so I'll keep you posted. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.